Can I get a whoop, whoop? This is serious. Amen. I want to be anywhere but the enemy of the cross. We believe in the cross. You understand that?
Amen.
Now, in somebody's lucky hymn book in page 338, y'all already been looking? 338. Read that time.
Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Thank you. Just don't go. Oh. I'm going to let you come stand with him since I give. Okay, Mike, now you can call on a friend.
Right?
Or you can change the question.
Phone friend.
Phone a friend. When you read that, and this is what you're reading, as well as me. Now I find this, and you can find it too. Okay? Now, in that verse it says, in other words, to be a friend of the world is to be an enemy of God. Did it not say that? What does that mean? To be a friend of the world is to be an enemy of God. Very good. And a lot of times we find ourselves just getting to a point where we just say, oh well, that's the world. We just become okay with it. You understand that? We've gotten to a place where we don't stand up for what we believe in. Besides in the church, this is where we come and we complain about the world. But we also get out there, and if we don't watch out, we also worship the world. Do you understand something as simply as standing in line for a movie for 2 days is worshiping the world? And we just don't understand that. You don't understand that jumping up, down, and hollering and screaming for some country music star is worshiping. Include football.
Especially if you want to go to church.
Now listen to it. Now he says, he mentions a sin. He addresses adulterers and adulteresses. Okay, did you see that? Now that really struck my attention because we know that sin is sin. Do you agree?
Yes.
All sin is disobedience to God. So why would God call out a sin on this? Okay, so faithful in general, that's one thing. But there's one thing that adultery does that all sin don't do. And I want you to just think about it a minute. What all does it hurt to be in an adulterous relationship? Family? Say again? Everybody. Now, too, just everybody around you that knew you. But also it hurts someplace else. God. Okay, it hurts. How does it hurt God? Breaking a promise. But what's another way? Think about it, man. We'll go back to what we read in yours about the example. It breaks his heart. Well, what about the example we set? You understand where I'm going? I mean, not only do we hurt our wife, or our husband, or our children, and the relationships that we have with our family, but we also hurt the church. You know, if we're involved in the church and we're testifying to be followers of God, look what this does to God. Look what this does to the church. Look what this does to the cross.
Amen.
And what we say here is we're not friends of the world, but we're doing worldly things that are okay in the world. We've had it happen. We've seen it happen. It hurt. It wasn't that big out there. Automatically. You see, what he's talking about, and he's not just talking about adultery, he's talking about sins that carry an effect on down the line. We got to realize that our sins don't just affect us. Our sins affect everybody around us. It hurts our church. It hurts our family. It hurts belief. I had a friend one time. He didn't go to church. True story. I had a friend one time, a very close friend, and his wife taught children's church, and she was real big into the church. And, one day he said, I don't think she'd ever cheat on me. 2 months later, she cheated on him. And it crushed his faith in church. He said if she, all the time she was coming home being a holy roller and telling me how to live and telling me how to do all this, and I was almost buying into it. We don't realize that we can come into God. We can become. When God, do you understand what an enemy is? It's a threat to you. You understand? That's somebody that threatens me is my enemy. And when you're running out there and you're claiming to be a Christian, but you're into sins that are hurting God's example, you're hurting the gospel, you're hurting the church, you're hurting the belief, you're hurting the cross of Calvary. Everybody's watching you, and you're supposed to be the witness of God, and they are seeing you perform these sins out in public and out in the world. God said, you become my enemy. You become my enemy. Because I'm trying to save these people. I'm trying to lead them to my Son Jesus Christ. And here you are, working against me. Jesus said it very plainly, either with me or against me. Last time in your lovely hymn books on page 316. Anybody found that? 316.